Hello, Roland Warren here. How are we supposed to respond to a world marred by violence, disease, and hunger? Indeed, since Adam and Eve's expulsion from the Garden of Eden, man has wrestled with how to respond to the evil that stalks our world. I've found that one of the most powerful answers to the problem of evil can be found in one of the most long-running and most awarded musicals of all time, Les Mis. This famous story shows us two possible responses to the brokenness of our world. Responses that are readily apparent today, especially when looking at an issue like abortion. The first response is that of the story's elderly bishop. When ex-convict Jean Valjean steals silver from him, the bishop gives him grace and a second chance in life rather than condemning him for his crime. Upon letting Valjean go, the bishop says, "Remember this, my brother. See in this some higher plan. You must use this precious silver to become an honest man." This profound act of a priest does just that. He introduces Jean Valjean, a man hardened by 19 years in prison, to God's grace, and it transforms his life. While grace may have been the bishop's response, let's contrast this with the way that the story's antagonist, Police Inspector Javert, responds to the world. He built his life on a foundation of legalistic righteousness. Rather than with pity, he sees people who have been ruined by their poor decisions as worthy of damnation. As he says, every man is born in sin, every man must choose his way. Javert is determined that he will follow the law to its letter. For Javert, grace and mercy are a farce. Justice and justice alone is the balm for the world's pain. At the climax of the play, Javert comes face to face with Valjean, and Valjean saves his life. Here, the play's first act is mirrored. Valjean provides grace to Javert. Unfortunately, the grace that redeemed Valjean is too much for Javert. Faced with the prospect of living indebted to the grace of another, he commits suicide. Two men living in a desperate world with two very different responses. One rooted his life in grace, the other in works. As a pro-abundant life organization, CareNet sees these two responses present and active today, especially when it comes to abortion. The thing I love about CareNet's response is that it embodies the grace and mercy of Valjean and the bishop. The 30,000 staff and volunteers at CareNet's 1,100 pregnancy centers reach out to the abortion vulnerable with compassion instead of judgment, trading hope for shame. They don't shun those enduring the dreadful consequences of our sexual revolution, but rather welcome them with open arms. Their churches serve those facing difficult pregnancies and provide healing to those mourning past abortions. These heroes know the bishop's secret. Nothing has the power to transform brokenness like the grace of Christ. Victor Hugo may have written Les Mis more than 250 years ago, but its world mirrors our own. The question that each of us must answer daily is this: how will we respond to the needs of our broken world? I pray that the answer is and remains with the grace and mercy of Christ. May God bless you daily as you serve Him faithfully.